For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Never, ever, ever be surprised by what happens in politics. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. And of course, that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. The broadcast is also on the NewsSpin Facebook page, also on the NewsSpin YouTube channel. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And of course, I'll be hearing from you later when you call 452-2979. That's 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And of course, Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. Here's hoping you had yourself an enjoyable Tuesday evening monitoring the presidential elections in the United States. There are also seats that were contested for the Senate as well as for the House of Representatives. And what an outcome. And I know that many of you are not surprised because you told me so, some of you, on this broadcast. I remember a gentleman saying, imagine an individual have gone through so many trials and tribulations over the last few years. What do you expect the outcome of the poll will be? I think he called on, was it on a Monday of this week? And this certainly would have been a shock to many individuals nonetheless, but for others, they expected that Donald Trump would have become the next president of the United States. But for me, I must tell you, I monitor the presidential elections and the run-up to that particular contest, and I was surprised. Because for me, somebody who is so indecent, the language is so divisive and inflammatory. He is so disrespectful. He certainly, his rhetoric, his ideas, his policies could not resonate with the majority of the voters in the United States. So I thought, especially this time around, and also considering how he served as president of the United States between 2016 and 2020. But there are a number of factors that persons like myself, I guess, did not take into consideration. And many people were hurting in terms of the high cost of living and also in terms of the impact of the poor state of the American economy on them, in terms of their ability to earn a living, in terms of their ability to be gainfully employed, and definitely inflation definitely would have been an issue. And also take into consideration that Kamala Harris was part of the last 4 years of an administration led by Joe Biden, and definitely a lot of the decisions taken that would have come under close scrutiny, and those would be tied to Kamala Harris as the vice president of the U.S. And so I'm sure that this too would have caught Kamala Harris and a team off guard. They were searching for the magic number of 270 because you have 538 electoral votes. But then the magic figure would be 270. In the end, so far, Kamala Harris is at 223. Trump is at 279. Way ahead of the 270 that is required. How will Donald Trump rule over the next 4 years? The decisions that he will be taking, for example, with regard to immigration, imposing tariffs on a range of goods that will be imported from a number of countries, including China. How will this affect the cost of certain items in the United States and maybe the possible fallout? And if the Republicans have full control over Congress, the House of Representatives, also the Senate, appointing its cabinet, appointing certain individuals, I'm sure that this will not come with any kind of opposition. So we are in for some interesting times in the Caribbean as well, because I'm sure that a number of decisions that we'll be taking will have implications for us, particularly with regard to climate change. And very often, not much thought, I must admit that that's my impression, not much thought goes into the decisions that are taken by Donald Trump and the implications for countries outside of the United States. He's not preoccupied with those things. But some other information to share with you with regard to the presidential elections in the U.S. Donald Trump, as you know, has won the U.S. election and will make a historic return to the White House. The Republican told jubilant crowds in Florida, America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. Of the 7 crucial swing states, Trump won North Carolina, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and is ahead in Michigan, Nevada, and Arizona. According to the BBC, we've yet to hear from Kamala Harris, but she's going to speak to supporters at Howard University, her alma mater, later today, where she's expected to concede. And Republicans have also taken the Senate back from Democrats after flipping a string of seats. So many people in the United States, the Democrats in particular, I am sure right now they are in a state of shock and maybe despondent and fearful of what the President of the United States will do between when he's inaugurated in January and when his term ends. Some people are even predicting and suggesting that who knows. But I don't think he can contest another presidential elections. No, he cannot, because he has really served one term between 2016 and 2024, and now serving another term. So he cannot contest another presidential election. Now, in the case of St Lucia, my question, the NewsSpin question of the day, what St Lucian voters can learn from the U.S. presidential election, if anything at all? What can St. Lucian voters learn from the U.S. presidential election? And I think some of you have been commenting, so during the course of the program, I will be going through some of your comments on the NewsSpin Facebook page. There's been some leaders, two of them of late. A few years ago, we heard from Dr. Keith Rowley of Trinidad and Tobago. Remember, Alan Chastney, former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, visited the sister party of the UWP in the Twin Island Republic, which is the UNC, a few years ago, and speaking about crime. And Dr. Keith Rowley took offense, and he described the former Prime Minister of St. Lucia and political leader of the UWP as Tropical Trump. And just recently, the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, again described Mr. Alan Chastney as Tropical Trump. So do you believe that St. Lucia's Tropical Trump can also win the next general election, constitutionally due in 2026? And let's play a clip, if you think I'm lying, of Dr. Keith Rowley describing Alan Chastney as Tropical Trump.
That sound like sense to you? But they sit it down with Chastney as if St. Lucia, who had Chastney in their government to run their country, throw him out of office unceremoniously, but in Trinidad to try to tell us how to run Trinidad. No thanks, Tropical Trump. That sound like sense to you? But they sit it down with Chastney as if St. Lucia, who had Chastney in their government to run their country, throw him out of office unceremoniously, but in Trinidad to try to tell us how to run Trinidad. No thanks, Tropical Trump.
And of course, this unflattering description of Mr. Alan Chastney as Tropical Trump, that certainly should be seen from various perspectives. For example, this is a case where Mr. Alan Chastney is a guy who normally speaks his mind. He's not on that basis. And, you know, I think the Republicans will tell you that their Trump does the same thing. He speaks his mind. He, from the perspective of providing you with what might be deemed as the unvarnished truth, it is not sugar-coated. And I know we're talking about two different political systems, two different political environments, but there might be a couple of similarities. And one of them in particular would be the state of the St. Lucian economy. Irrespective of how the government of Philip J. Pierre will boast about remarkable performance ever since the party came into office in 2021, and that's for the SLP, as of July 2021, there's some things that have changed for the positive. The negatives, we have been here, we have been saddled with those things for a very, very long time now. But economic growth, unprecedented, never happened in the history of St. Lucia, not to that extent. And I think even the IMF now is saying that the St. Lucian economy is scheduled to grow this year by 2.4%. That is a paltry sum. I mean, if you want to make major changes, you want to provide opportunities to the St. Lucian public in terms of employment and pay meaningful, attractive salaries to the people of this country, you cannot do that with just growth of 2.4%. But let's not focus on economic growth, because when you're talking about growth, it has to filter down to the ordinary man in the street, not those big-time individuals who are benefiting from the CIP, Citizenship and Investment Program, and members of the cabal, people who are well connected to the government, who are benefiting via contracts through the construction of roads and bridges and hospitals, etc. And inflation has been a major area of concern, a major headache for many young people, for many senior citizens, for middle-aged individuals in this country. To the extent people have basically given up. I mean, of late, you even heard from the Ministry of Commerce, alerting members of the public that there's been another increase in the cost of certain items in the supermarket. And, quote unquote, the ministry is trying to see how it can police those prices to ensure that there isn't any price gouging and things of that nature. Irrelevant detail. Because people are already being severely affected by the high prices. And not even a minimum wage is providing some kind of amelioration to the people of this country. Because yes, you get your $1,000 odd and $52 a day, etc. But when you go to the supermarket, this is eaten up immediately. And you still have a number of other things that you have to take care of. So the impact is minimal. So I'm just wondering whether that will be, along with healthcare, one of the issues that the St Lucian voter will take into consideration if there isn't any major improvement come 2026, when the polls are scheduled to be called, in determining whether this government should be returned to office or there should be a decision to return the United Workers' Party back into the seat of power. And I don't know whether, in the case of St Lucia, we take those things into consideration anyway. Maybe it's on a gut feeling, it may be based on our emotions, how we feel about a particular leader, political leader, or candidates. But we hear from time to time that opposition parties are not elected into office. Governing parties are removed from office. It's a case where very often you're dissatisfied with the performance of a government, so you boot them out of office, and the opposition would benefit from this. So who knows? Come the next general election, we had a Trump over in the United States, and Tropical Trump in St. Lucia will return to the seat of power in St. Lucia. That's something you might want to focus on during the course of our program this afternoon. Fixed elections. He described himself as a concerned citizen and community activist, and that is Aaron Alexander. In the United States, the Tuesday after the first Monday in November, after 4 years have elapsed, would be the date for presidential elections. This is cast in stone. This is well set in the Constitution. And so, prime ministers, in the case of St. Lucia, they come before you and they're threatened to call general elections. I remember Dr. Kenny Anthony famously saying in Creole, "Si se fon blow off vache, na kouye gouzav, na kouye." And now, Philip J. Pierre is doing the same, threatening to call general elections if he continues to be pestered by the opposition United Workers' Party. Think what Mr. Aaron Alexander is saying. If you set the date, then there isn't any mystery surrounding this. We all know on that particular day, the Tuesday after the first Monday in November, or the Wednesday or Friday, etc., we'll have general elections. And maybe in the case of St. Lucia, considering our history, it might be on a Friday, because the party in office might want to, spread the love in terms of what? Chicken and rum. So people are under the influence. Etc. But maybe that's something we can take into consideration. Let's listen to Mr. Aaron Alexander.
During the last elections, one of the hot button issues was having a fixed date for our general elections here in St. Lucia. It is with this in mind, I am calling on the Prime Minister to use his majority in Parliament to give us this most precious gift. Bearing in mind that the last administration used the announcement of an election date as a dangling carrot in our faces, and we said never again. This situation again caused all St. Lucians to demand that there be a fixed date for general elections in St. Lucia, whether it be by constitutional amendment or statutory declaration. But Mr. Prime Minister, you need to do this, my brother.
Just a there from Mr. Aaron Alexander. One correction, Mr. Alexander. It is not because of how the previous administration handled the power that it had in terms of calling the general election that you ought to be making that particular plea. Because St. Lucians, several years ago, you remember that there was a special constitutional reform commission that went through the diaspora, went through various parts of St. Lucia, and when they collated the information they gathered from St. Lucians, in unison, they suggested that there ought to be a fixed date for general elections in St. Lucia. So there's no mystery around this regarding how St. Lucians feel about the calling of general elections on the island. Let's take our calls right now at 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let me turn my attention to Amanda. Good afternoon to you, ma'am. What is happening in the chat room?
Good afternoon, Timothy. Good afternoon, NewsSpinners. In the chat room, someone says if Kamala won, the SLP would use that as a weapon, saying America voted for a black woman, so we don't want Shasney in our black country. So
now they voted for a white man. What should happen? We should have a white individual being re-elected as prime minister, because people believe, in fact, his political opponents are saying that he is white, although he is not of that race. But continue the other comments.
Someone says, Lucians who support and love him, I hope your relatives here have their papers intact because they will be deported. Another comment, racism and misogyny are powerful drugs, so Kamala didn't stand a chance. Someone replied to this saying, read up the 1973 federal lawsuit against Trump, brought up the Justice Department. Another comment, they will start complaining in a few weeks. Another contribution, Trump will do like Pierre, free all his colleagues that were arrested during Biden's tenure, and also drop all the criminal charges brought against himself. Another comment, politics have plenty surprises. We had it right here in Castries Central 3 years ago. Someone says, I have no time contemplating on the USA elections because we in St. Lucia have our own situations to face. Well said, Timothy, the complications that we will have to face in the Caribbean. So let's see how best we will face it when it gets in St. Lucia. Another comment, this is a blessing in disguise for Kamala. I hope she can take a well-deserved vacation and have a normal life with her family. Doug probably is the happiest man now, being able to go back to his law practice and have his wife's full attention. Another comment, Shas is nothing like Trump. This man Trump just insulting people all the time. Oh no, don't go there. Someone says, I know the blacks are in the minority compared to the whites, but there were people from the Caribbean who supported Trump fully. I'm certain if Trump had to deport them, he would do it without blinking.
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Timothy.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Timothy, le Monsieur Gonzalez kakouye Monsieur Chasney Tropical Trump la. Mwen vle Monsieur Gonzalez sav. Pièce moun pa jamais mene Chasney l'audience pour di yo replay. Ouais. Mais Di Gonzalez, you had charged pour rape. You pas jamais charge Chasney pour rape.
Mande yo charge li. Yo te accusé. Mande yo te charge li. Ma change yo te charge li, hein.
Kote yo pas te charge puis c'est le cas qu'on dit ça. Saint-Vincent Gonzalez la même occasion ça. Depuis ou di an rien en les Gonzalez. C'est Gonzalez qui a mené Gonzalez c'est encyclopédie qui est 14 copybook tout ça. comme c'est li yon qui connaît pour faire bagay. Et toutes les autres moun c'est macaque. Ini Saint-Vincent comme c'est Castro, mais il vient St Lucia qui a moun conduite St Lucia. Di Gonzave aller mettre Kaili en ordre avant de mettre Kaino en ordre. Bon, examen kadou là c'est bagay moi connaît, puisque moi ka été Saint-Vincent.
Okay, caller. Hola toujours? All right, merci. Let's take another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you, caller. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, NewsSpin. Good afternoon, St Lucia.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
You asked the question, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
You asked, will tropical Trump, and I don't really like the term anyway, win St Lucia's general election? I'd say the UWP can win the next election. However, the UWP under its current leader, excuse me, Alan Chasney, will not win the next election.
Why?
The harm, and yeah, I'll go there. The harm has been done. Alan's last stint in office was not a positive one for the nation. I don't think he's anything like Trump. Trump enacted policy that was good for the United States. Alan did not enact policy that was good for the country.
But caller, before you continue, now hold on, caller. Before you continue, Dr. Kenny Anthony lost the general election of 2006. He lost the 2006 general election, right? He was not good for St Lucia then when he lost. He was not good for St Lucia. He was hated, described as an arrogant individual, but he won in 2011. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He came back and he won in 2011.
We're saying Kenny, you're saying Kenny Anthony. Talk to me about Kenny Anthony's policies that might have caused him to lose. I'm not talking about Kenny Anthony. We're not going to gaslight. We're going to stick to the issue.
Yeah, we're sticking to the issues
Alan,
because hold on, caller. I don't think in St. Lucia, and you ought to know better, in St. Lucia, it is not about policies. People don't really elect governments and political leaders and parties based on policies. It is based on emotions. It's based on how it is on perception as well. How you paint somebody as your political opponent, that will determine the outcome of the elections in St. Lucia. So if you describe Alan Chastain and Guy Joseph as being corrupt without any kind of evidence, then you win if you're successful in doing that.
I don't doubt that, Timothy, but I am a firm believer that simply because we've done something one way doesn't mean that we do not change it. Because what has happened, Pierre has come in and Pierre has basically mimicked what Alan did when Alan was in office. He has mimicked it almost to the point.
Mimicked in what way?
DSH could be, yeah, I'm going there. DSH can be compared to GPH, I think is the name of it, the harbor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are similar situations. Whole contract, we haven't seen the other contract. He has not corrected any of the things that we criticize Alan for. So I equate them as the same. Does that mean now we allow?
So therefore, the people might decide.
Me. I'm not interrupting you.
Therefore, the people might decide to choose the less of the two evils.
Well, that's the point, though. I'm telling the people, I'm asking the people to not choose the lesser of the two evils, but demand that there be a change. You say they do emotion, they do not do policy. They need to look at what it is that's being offered. Let's talk about the SLP right now, for instance. There is a lot of giving. They're cut down the cost for Arthur Lewis students, down the cost for this, give this one a handout here, give that one. all under the CIP, except the CIP cannot continue, so that money will no longer be there. The students, for instance, that have gotten that one child in every household scholarship, will that be sustainable so they can continue and actually get their degree 4 years down the road? It doesn't appear that way. So you're talking about doing things the same way. I'm telling you it has to be changed. And I'm telling you the way Alan did it, if he remains leader of the United Workers' Party, and I'm calling all good men and women of the United Workers' Party who has supported the party over generations, to demand of the executive a meeting for all members, defectors and all members, to come together and to decide what it is they want to do to move the party forward. Because we cannot have a one-party state.
No, in the interest,
right now we have a one-party state.
In the interest of democracy, in the interest of good governance in St Lucia, shouldn't you ask the operatives of the St Lucia Labour Party to do the same thing regarding Philip J.P.N.? Why are you so interested in what happens to the leadership of the UWP and not the SLP?
I am not a member of the St. Lucia Labour Party. I am a member of the United Workers' Party. My concern
But you're a
is
citizen
the
of St.
United
Lucia,
Workers'
Colin.
Party.
But you're a citizen of St. Lucia.
Yeah, and I will support government as a citizen of St. Lucia. But as a member of the United Workers' Party, I'm calling on the executive to call a national meeting for all members. Those who can't be there, do it on Zoom, but call a meeting, because the party needs to get in order, and the party is not in order right now. Alan cannot take us to victory. That's a fact. He cannot.
Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way, caller. That is your fact.
It's a fact.
No, caller.
It's a fact.
Caller, that is your fact.
Okay, but well, the election will come and you will see, but it's not going to happen because his policies did nothing for the nation. Nothing for the nation. Unfortunately, Pierre hasn't gone after monies that we should have gone after, yes. But Alan's policy was destructive. We had a horse racing track. My goodness, we could have had an entire dairy production out here at Beausejour. We have a horse racing track. Come on now, let's get real. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's discuss things in a way that moves the country forward. Right now, it's not moving the country forward. And the SLP is busy just giving this and giving and giving and giving. And the ones they're giving to are just happy, but they're not seeing a few years down the road. You know, so no, I know you don't want to hear this. That's not what you want to hear.
Not what I don't. No. Not what I don't want to hear. And don't paint me as supporter of this or that. I am just countering whatever you're saying. Don't think that I will just allow you to make claims without you substantiating those claims that you're making. Because number one, you don't have a crystal ball. And if you're going to tell me the outcome of the next general election already, I can't take you seriously, Connor.
No, Timothy, there is projection. And I am telling you that I have heard absolutely nothing from Alan and the current group of the UWP that says to me that anything is going to be done differently.
Yeah, but you're talking about
had 4 years.
You're talking about projections. It's also projected that Kamala Harris would have won the presidential elections in the U.S.
Yeah, but who was doing? Yeah, it was projected. No, it was never projected that she would have won. It was hoped that she would have won. Okay, but if you live in the U.S. and you don't have to live here, and you really understood what's happening on the ground, you would know the Democratic Party was playing checkers when they were faced with the game of chess. Okay, their ground game was totally lacking in swing states. Many of us knew the decision was going to be what it is today. I knew Trump was going to win. Okay, a lot of people knew Trump was going to win. So to say that Kamala was projected, they were both projected. Since October 28th, the Republican Party predicted Trump was going to take a landslide victory.
Okay, so let me ask you one final point, and that is you're already predicting that Alan Shastin will not win the next general election. But let's just suppose that to the United States, where Trump, He lost the 2020 presidential election, but he came back and he won in 2024. Now, you'd have lost because of what? Decisions taken during his reign between 2016 and 2020, policies implemented, and so on. But he's re-elected.
Well, maybe so, but I'm not comparing the U.S. and St. Lucia, Timothy. You cannot even make that comparison. You can't. All you have is the policies. All you have is what has been said. All you have is the contradiction over and over and over and over again. And I, for one, cannot support that. And I won't support that. And a lot of other United Workers' Party people will not support that. Do we want the party to win? Of course. No party member wants to be in opposition. That's a fact. But we understand that the people on the ground are saying they do not want him as Prime Minister of the country, which means the United Workers' Party has to find a leader that they can stand behind, and they can't stand behind Alan. Timothy, let me tell you.
Let me ask you one final point. Hold on. Are you speaking primarily from the perspective of supporters of the United Workers' Party when you say that he cannot win?
I'm talking about the entire nation.
No, but which poll did you conduct to prove that? Because you're talking about people who are independent. Hold on. You're talking about people who are independents in St. Lucia. Independents. You're talking about people who might be supporters of the St. Lucia Labour Party at one time, but now they might have a change of heart considering the performance of the government over the last 3.5 years. Are you speaking primarily of supporters of the UWP? Because I don't think what you're saying there is backed in any kind of scientific research. It's basically a gut feeling.
Have the people of his class changed their minds and have now decided that they're going to support him? He's the one who said the people of his class did not support him. Well, the people of his class were primarily the voters of the United Workers' Party that made things happen. They're the deep pockets that gave the money to the party.
I don't have the empirical evidence.
Well, you don't need empirical evidence. You live in St. Lucia. You're a journalist. You, of all people, should know, and you do know, and you will pretend not to.
I don't know. Don't claim to know what I know, Gordon.
One thing out. Anyway, I'm not arguing with you. I'm here to make a point. Let me point something out to you. In the last 4 years, since, was it 3.5 years since election, how many people have decided to follow Alan? Every time Alan has a march, it's the same number. His numbers have not improved at all. And if your numbers are not improving, that ought to tell you something. The numbers have not been, they have not improved. The last meeting on the boulevard with the same number of people. Take the screenshots, you can literally count them head by head. It's the same number. There has been no increase in the numbers that follow him.
Okay.
So basically you're telling me you want the United Workers' Party to lose the next general election. It's not going to happen. Alan's policies are detrimental. Alan's ability to strategize is detrimental. What Alan says you can never count on because it changes depending on which way the wind blows. He'll say A today, he'll say B tomorrow, he'll come back on the same issue, he'll say A the next day, then he'll say he never said A, he said D. Come on now, where we going with this?
Okay, caller, thank you so much. We have to move on. We're due for a commercial break. Somebody, well, I could identify as Nigel Toussaint, calling from the United States. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin. Still to come, some more of your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and also imagine asking a student whether the people of St. Lucia should participate in a particular walk. We'll be back in a bit.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's funeral home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Viewpoint at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex Customer Service Office in Castries is now open for business, but we've moved. We're now located on Daisy Avenue in St Lucia on the ground floor of the new Carillac building. We're open weekdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Check out our online options first. But if you do need to come in to see us, we'll be pleased to serve you with new connections, bill queries, payments, and other service requests. Lucilex St Lucia office, ground floor of the Carillac building. New location, same great service.
St Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon milk sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Your taste buds ready, come and try KFC's new bacon milk sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese flavor certified with mayo or barbecue, anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon melt sandwich, have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 484-0400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
And you got it. A quicker way to pay your bills online. It's fast, secure, and easy to use. No registration, no additional fees. Flow is now offering FastPay, an online service that allows you to settle your bills in less than 2 minutes. Need a receipt? FastPay will send it to your email immediately. Use FastPay now for convenience, safety, and efficiency at discoverflow.co/fastpay. Flow is keeping you connected.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns, all at unbeatable jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massat Grosine. Europa, we service what we sell.
Ministre qui a une responsabilité pour santé a offert un service neuf en bas programme Universal Health Coverage là. Service ça là c'est pour femmes faire test pap smear pour aider à adresser problème cancer en matrice. Service nouveau pap smear ça là plus confortable et plus facile. Nous commander pour toute femme pour l'avantage service ça là et aller en wellness center à Camino pour apprendre plus à sous sa clinique pap smear ça là qu'a fait. À dans une semaine seulement ou ka jwen résultat l'examen pap smear. Et si mou chwe bagay pas normal, et ben la ni cancer, ou ka traper examiner encore durant une semaine. La ka ni examination pour HPV 16 et HPV 18 qui ça en est cause cancer en matrice. Si résultat test la pas normal, ou ka jwen un appointment vitement pour traitement. Et là, ou ka jwen plus information à sous maladie et guérison. Nous commandons toute femme pour prendre l'avantage service neuf sala pour adresser problème cancer. Et UHC, santé ou c'est l'enterré nous. Pour plus d'informations, téléphonez 468-5300 et bien 468-53D8.
Why travel abroad for an MRI scan when you can access world-class medical technology right here in St. Lucia? At La Clinique de Corps Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring cutting-edge technology to your doorstep with our state-of-the-art GE-accredited 1.5 Tesla MRI machine. Our advanced imaging services let you see the unseen, providing crystal clear scans that deliver unmatched accuracy for a comprehensive look at your health. Save time, save money, prioritize your health. No more costly trips overseas. Get the highest quality MRI scans locally and take control of your health with the option of a second opinion. You deserve that peace of mind. Our skilled specialists are here to guide you every step of the way, whether it's nerve disorders, chronic headaches, spinal injury, or stroke recovery. We offer expert consultation and personalized care all under one roof. And don't miss out on our special discounts. Ask about our reduced rates on MRIs, ultrasounds, and consultations at our convenient locations in Castries and Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Book your appointment today. Call La Clinique de Corps at 451-6559 and experience imaging excellence without leaving the island. Your health deserves the best. Let us help you see it.
Attention homeowners. Are you ready to transform your space this holiday season? Don't miss out on the Tile Gallery Incredible Jingle Tile Sale, happening now through October 31st. For a limited time, save up to 50% off on a stunning selection of tiles only at the Tile Gallery. Whether you're upgrading your kitchen, bathroom, or outdoor, we have the perfect style for you. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Visit us today and elevate your home with beautiful tiles at unbeatable prices at the Jingle Tile Sale. The Tile Gallery is located at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt stores. Terms and conditions may apply.
At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, we offer high-quality products from Martinique, and our ready mix is made with casting sand, not regular pumice. Compared to regular pumice, casting sand saves you in your cement use. At Caribbean Pastouche Limited, our materials come from porcelain stones, which is used as an additive in creating cement. Caribbean Pastouche Limited is located in Bexon, behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastouche Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Black Hat Football, the People's Tournament, intensifies after an accelerated leg of first-round matches. Now, the battle lines have been drawn, and it's time for the quarterfinals. On Wednesday, November 6th, Red Hot Boys from Masher will face the mighty VFO South from 7 p.m. And from 9 p.m., another big one. West Coast champions Ancillary versus South Castries. The winners will advance to the semi-finals on Friday, November 8th, where the big teams meet. Also featuring live in St Lucia for the first time ever from Bouillon Country, Dominica. It's Kwan and Little Boy live at the Soufre Mini Stadium for only $25. Get ready for Kwan and Little Boy on Friday, November 8th. Join the fun and excitement at the Soufre Mini Stadium. Who will win and who will be crowned 2024 Black Hat champions? Black Hat Football. Shoot goals, not bullets.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Hannah Raymond.
What school are you at?
Well, I'm going to secondary school, the Quorum Secondary School.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, do you know that the government is giving a laptop to all Form 1 students?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel happy about that because I've been needing a laptop for my schoolwork for a very long time, and I don't have any other device right now, so I'm very thankful for that.
Now, some of the people are going to walk and support the government and thank the government. Do you think St Lucia should come out and support that?
Yes, because he gave us the accessibility to laptops and the bursaries to help us to go to school, so I think so, but I personally, I'm not sure if I'll be able to go, but I encourage other people to go.
Hello, what's your name?
My name is Hannah Raymond.
What school are you at?
Well, I'm going to secondary school, the Quorum Secondary School.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, do you know that the government is giving a laptop to all Form 1 students?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
I feel happy about that because I've been needing a laptop for my schoolwork for a very long time, and I don't have any other device right now, so I'm very thankful for that.
Now, some of the people are going to walk and support the government and thank the government. Do you think St Lucia should come out and support that?
Yes, because he gave us the accessibility to laptops and the bursaries to help us to go to school. So I think so, but I personally, I'm not sure if I'll be able to go, but I encourage other people to go.
What a shameful and desperate act. This is Jarayer of the St Lucia Labour Party interviewing a student, asking her about, the laptop that the government, that you, the taxpayers of this country, financed. What do you think about that? And also, what do you think about St. Lucians, whether they should be participating in the so-called Walk of Progress? To me, this is unprecedented. I've not seen any political party actually interviewing students about projects that are being financed by the government. 452-2979, that's 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And again, 716-2026. What is happening in the chat room?
Tim, comments from earlier in the chat room. Someone says the minimum wage is another opportunity for businesses to engage in price gouging. Another comment, Tim, didn't you see the dog in the St. Jude's hospital? And didn't you hear about the pilot that died because of lack of health care?
I heard about both, but we have the clip. Somebody did a meme. I think he's known. Let me try it. I'm not familiar with this guy's name in particular, but I think it's Noaziz. Okay, Noaziz. Okay. I don't know his name. But let's play the clip of the skit that he had of the dog exiting the St. Jude Hospital. Quite funny.
Vesa. Sakishen. Weko kuma. St. Jude's Hospital. You check the vibe. Do let a dog go and check on its health more than you going and check on your health. Don't wait till it's too late. Go in the gym, take a little sweat, take care of yourself. Right now that dog pay for all the tests. I saw that dog. He pay for all the tests in full. He pay for all the bills. He check it's for its what's the thing man that he check for his prostate. He check to see if it have no abnormal growths and everything. I remember seeing that dog. Yeah. Low roof. Oh, that's check the time the man living in the hospital in the night. From morning the dog in the hospital, the dog living in the night. The system taking too long after, but he seems to be happy. He seems to be in good spirits. You see him? Watch him walking out his style. Sakish, dog life or no life.
Okay, Noah sees. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Producer. Let's continue with the comments in the chat room. Amanda.
Someone said it's funny how when one speaks out against the bad politics of a government, how they're under attack by the full of hate party hacks. But I'm happy that we have people and the talk show hosts like Mr. Timothy Poleon that will stick in the kitchen no matter how hot it gets in order to ensure that the people's concerns are heard. Another comment, Trump's victory proves that no amount of criticism can prevent what's destined to happen. Despite all the negativity, he emerged victorious. St. Lucia take notice. Another comment, Americans voted on policies and not on personalities. St. Lucians need to do the same, vote on policies, healthcare, crime and security, the economy. In response to the previous caller, someone says, if you're a supporter of SLP, why do you want them to remove Chasney? You should be happy that Chasney is there if you feel he is so weak. Another comment, the horse track was not a government investment. St. Lucians love the horse race. This lady is using her labor strategy to destabilize the UWP. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that contribution, Amanda. I'm sure that we'll have some more comments that we could go through in just a moment. We have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon
Tim,
to you.
Thank you for taking my call. Tim, thank God that we are living in a democracy, that we have the freedom to speak whatever concerns us once it does not mean that we are infringing on somebody's rights. So regardless of what we think about what somebody has said, they have the right to say it no matter how lame, stupid, ridiculous or whatever. On that same vein, team, I would like you to indulge me for a minute. Let me just say this. Tim, I was a youth growing up in the United Workers' Party under the tutelage of Sir John. Up until his death, we were very close. and I shared and learned a lot from him. In 2016, well, 14, 15, 16, I worked and was on every platform being vocal and speaking with Alan Shastney. Tim, I left the country and returned towards the end of his reign and worked closely under his supervision. Tim, I am on the executive of the United Workers' Party. Tim, I sit with Alan Shastney and his team. Tim, I am very close with the base of the United Workers' Party, so much so that they refer to me as Auntie Jocelyn. Tim, I know I am in St. Lucia. I listen. And did I say, Tim? I happen to be also intelligent, educated, and experienced, and a strong, patriotic St. Lucian. Tim, you know the saying that if you have to, they say, uni pudomi epi pool pusav siyo kawofle, meaning that you have to sleep with fowls to know if they snore, not literally sleep with someone. You need to know people. You have to be with them to talk to them. Tim, I would know you if I interact with you, if I talk to you, if I work with you, if I go to the same church with you, if I sit and have conversations with you, if I move with the same groups with you. I would say I know you. But Tim, I cannot stay 20,000 miles away and have little, maybe one or two interactions with you, hear all kinds of, accept all kinds of gossip and things about you, and think that I can be an authority on who Tim is. And I can dictate to Kimani and this young lady that you have with you and your producers that Tim is not somebody who can be trusted or listened to, or that I can say to the media profession that Tim cannot be respected based probably on my own personal view of Tim, or what I've had, or what I didn't get from Tim, or what I thought I should get from Tim. Tim, people need to know, okay, that you can speak for yourself, but you cannot speak for other people. You can dismiss other people and their views. Know that they will dismiss you too and what you have to say. It does not matter. All I need to say, Tim, is that I know Alan Shastney. I have worked with Alan Shastney. I'm no fool. I'm somebody who people know and respect and know that I am no fool. And when I say to you, Tim, that Alan Shastney is the only person at this time who can bring the United Workers' Party to victory like he did in 2016, and I will stand and I will walk and I will push and I will lead as many as I can to ensure that they put this man back in the governance of this country like they have done with Trump in America, because Alan Shastney is the only one that can develop this country at this time from where it is at. And I know him, and I'm speaking on authority, and I know the base in St. Lucia because I interact with them all the time, and I've made it my business, a person who can live and work overseas, who have done that, but chooses to be here at this time for this reason. So I can say to him that and you can take it in authority, that I know the people of the United Workers' Party, because I've always been that, I've never shifted, and I will never shift, that they want Alan Shastney. I have seen them do it, and the policies that he represents, we stand with it, and this is not just a little fly-by-night person or somebody with grouches that's talking, or somebody who thinks that they didn't get, because when I campaigned in 2016, I left. So I do my thing for country and party, not for what I can get. And I've had better than what can be given to me from St. Lucia. So I'm saying to you, Tim, St. Lucians better stand firm with the man who can deliver them. And when you hear other people talk, let them talk, because we live in a democracy. Every person and they have a right to say anything, even if it makes absolutely no sense. But we, the United Workers' Party, I can tell you, Tim, on authority, that we stand with Alan Shastney. I thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling. I think that was Dr. Fletcher of the UWP. We have him on the call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Hello. All right, we'll try to see if we get another call at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let's try again. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to you.
And how are you?
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm there, hold it on. How is Amanda?
I'm okay, caller. Thanks for asking.
Okay. Tim, Auntie Joycelyn couldn't have said it better. What's the lady's name? Nigel Toussaint?
Yes, ma'am.
But Miss Nigel Toussaint ruded out of place to tell Flambeaus who to take for their leader. The lady staying where she is, the lady not interacting with the party, the lady not interacting with Alan Chasney, the lady must talk to one or two haters. Everybody have haters. She sound like a hater. And the lady want to talk about Alan Chasney cannot lead UWP. Who is she? Who is she? As far as I remember, that lady is a reject from UWP. I know she was rejected some time ago from UWP. So who is that lady to come and talk about Alan? You know, the lady is very, very rude and out of place. Tell the lady to go and clean her backyard before she come and tell Flambeaus who to take as their leader. And she has to see Alan Chasney there, and Flambeaus will never get tired of Alan Chasney. If that lady used to be around Alan Chasney, she would know how much love Alan Chasney have, his wife and his family, and how much love Flambeaus have for Alan Chasney. So tell the lady to sit down and enjoy her life wherever she is, okay? And let us do what we're doing in St Lucia with our leader. Thank you very much, Steve.
Thank you so much for calling. Another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Sit down and enjoy her life wherever she is, okay?
Hello. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm okay.
Tim, you know, we've got lots of political experts in St. Lucia. We have political guardians who can predict the outcomes of the next general election. We don't even know when the next general election is going to be in St. Lucia. It's going to be anywhere up to after July, 90 days after July of 2026. But the lady spoke about the policies implemented by the United Workers' Party under Alan Chasney, but she didn't mention one policy. All she referred to was a project, a private project by a private developer, that is DSH. And she contrasted or compared it with the GPH project, which is, I agree with her on the point that GPH is an outrageous project, which is steeped in secrecy, that we don't even know what the details of that project is up to now. But it's so strange when people, I mean, everybody has their opinion on matters, but when somebody, in the way she postulates that she knows that the United Workers' Party supporters do not support Alan Chasney, there is a democratic process in the United Workers' Party. It's called a convention. And that's where they select the members of the executive, be it the political leader and all the other members who form the executive. And I invite her to come down to St. Lucia. She said she's a paid member and she can become become a delegate and put herself up to run for the position of political leader or anybody that she believes is qualified and fit to do the job. And there she would be able to assess how popular Alan Chasney is as the leader of the party. But that aside, Tim, are you hearing anything about agriculture in the country?
Little bits and pieces, here and there.
Tim, our banana industry last year, the production fell by 45%, and the exports fell by 54%. And, you know, recently, I live in the Swazel area, and the past 2 months, well, with the exception of the last 5 or 6 weeks, there were vehicles which would drive past, pickup vehicles, every week, selling things, especially like plantain, dasheen, and that type of food stuff. As they say, hard food. The Jamaicans say hard food. We say vifte. That has disappeared, Tim. St. Lucians are now basically on a diet of white flour, rice, chow mein, and macaroni, pasta. And it's simply because St. Lucians cannot afford to buy anything but that. They can't afford to buy dasheen. St. Lucians can't afford to buy fish. The average price of a pound of fish is $12 a pound. And so I think rather than discuss who should be the leader of what political party or not, rather than having that debate, we now need to have a debate in St. Lucia to discuss our farming industry, which is on a decline. We're not able to feed ourselves. And the food that we are now consuming is not even really healthy. And even when we are presented with healthy food, the majority of the St. Lucian population cannot afford it. And it's a crisis looming, because eating unhealthy food means we'll have unhealthy people. And we know it's a nightmare to go into our medical, our healthcare facilities in St. Lucia. So besides having a healthcare crisis, we also have a food crisis in St. Lucia. One, where there is a lack of food, locally produced food, and two, where people can't even afford, because now there's more demand for the food. The farmers obviously are selling the food a little bit more expensively, and the average St. Lucian consumer cannot afford the food in St. Lucia. And gradually, Tim, we're descending down the slippery slope of an economy where our government cannot afford to finance our healthcare system. Our people cannot afford to feed themselves. Our government cannot afford to repair our infrastructure. Can you believe this year is the year of infrastructure? If we are to point out what has the government achieved in terms of infrastructure development, or even if it's infrastructure rehabilitation, there is very little that we can point to. The West Coast Road, which is presently there's a project, right, ongoing, which has been going on for a while now. This thing is on a go slow. It's a crawling project. Every time you pass along that road, there are less and less people working on it. And the road from Castries to Soufrière, a road which is used, especially now, the tourism season has started, and a road which is used by so many vehicles, by visitors and locals alike. It's in atrocious condition, Tim. Atrocious condition. If you come down to Soufrière and come onto our waterfront, which was battered by the waves from Hurricane Beryl, we've got half of a jetty on which we are berthing boats onto half of a jetty, a piece. More than half of the jetty was washed away, but it's still being used. And I wonder whether any assessment has been done of the structural integrity of that jetty. The larger of the 4 jetties in Soufrière is, it's not being used, it's condemned, because I think it's structurally unsound. And the smallest jetty, which is on the Hummingbird Beach, has been, some facial repairs, not structurally. Tim, we, in 2000 and last year, 23, Soufrière welcomed 87 cruise ship calls. Small cruise ships, and even small cruise ships over 1,000 in capacity. This year, it's down to 32. The government, the Ministry of Tourism, has not told us why did the cruise calls to Soufrière decline by over 200%. And while our small taxi operators, our small tour operators, our vendors in Soufrière will lose that business because the government did nothing. It's only now that they're trying to repair one of their jetties. Nothing to repair the jetties. I'm asking, where is DSH, and what is DSH's responsibility as it pertains to the ports in Soufrière? Because as far as we know, DSH has some form of responsibility in Port Soufrière. Isn't that what it is, Tim? That's what we heard.
Yes, that's what it is, yeah.
So where is DSH? And we're calling on the district rep for Soufrière, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, to tell us what is DSH's responsibility as it pertains to the jetties in Soufrière and the waterfront. She is the one who announced that the arrangement between the government and GPH for Soufrière is a secret deal. Now is the time to disclose what the secret is. we need to open up that safe and pull out the documentation, because we are now being affected. Our livelihoods in Sufra are being affected, and we don't know if these jetties are an accident waiting to happen, Tim.
Okay, caller, thank you so much for your contribution. Still to come, St. Lucia has a new chief elections officer, along with your calls, your WhatsApp messages, and of course, Amanda will be going through some of the comments in the chat room. This is the most monitored talk show in the world.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Viewpoint accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus takes charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Lucilec's remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593, 285-3329, or 285-8640. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Here's a fun fact. In just 29 seconds, you can say goodbye to paper bills forever. Seriously, in 29 seconds. That's less time than this ad. Head over to discoverflow.co or visit us in-store and update your contact information now. By October 1st, your bills will be digital, easy to access, secure, and hassle-free. So what are you waiting for? This ad still has 2 seconds left, and you could have already gone paperless.
St. Lucia, get ready for the ultimate flavor explosion at KFC. Introducing the new bacon milk sandwich. That's right, the crispy, juicy KFC chicken you love, topped with melted cheese, crispy bacon, and your choice of mayo or barbecue sauce, all nestled in a soft sesame seed bun.
Your taste buds ready, come and try KFC's new bacon milk sandwich is great, no lie. Crispy chicken, bacon, cheese flavor certified with mayo or barbecue, anyone you must try. For just $25, get this combo deal. Fries and a drink, it's a steal. Head to KFC, cause you don't wanna miss a bacon melt sandwich, have it on your list.
Available at all KFC locations island-wide. WhatsApp 484-0400 or visit kfcslu.com for delivery and more.
Get your home holiday ready with unbeatable savings at MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt. Enjoy pre-Christmas savings of up to 50% off on selected Christmas items this season. Transform your space and make your home shine. Everything you need is here. MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt pre-Christmas sale is happening now. Shop early and save big. Your holiday home improvement starts now.
It is well known by all St. Lucian professional tradesmen and even homeowners that European-made tools are the best. Well, guess what? Europa Hardware is having a massive promotion on the Metabo brand of power tools. From impact drills to angle grinders, jigsaws to rotary hammers, sanders and hot air guns. All at unbeatable, jaw-dropping prices. Don't let your tools let you down. Come to Europa and stay standing with a proud in-the-hand tool from Metabo. Call us at 452-0763 or visit us in Massad Grosile. Europa, we service what we sell.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
Why travel abroad for an MRI scan when you can access world-class medical technology right here in St. Lucia? At La Clinique de Cours Diagnostic Center of Excellence, we bring cutting-edge technology to your doorstep with our state-of-the-art GE-accredited 1.5 Tesla MRI machine. Our advanced imaging services let you see the unseen, providing crystal clear scans that deliver unmatched accuracy for a comprehensive look at your health. Save time, save money, prioritize your health. No more costly trips overseas. Get the highest quality MRI scans locally and take control of your health with the option of a second opinion. You deserve that peace of mind. Our skilled specialists are here to guide you every step of the way. Whether it's nerve disorders, chronic headaches, spinal injury, or stroke recovery, we offer expert consultation and personalized care all under one roof. And don't miss out on our special discounts. Ask about our reduced rates on MRIs, ultrasounds, and consultations at our convenient locations in Castries and Cocoville, Rodney Bay. Book your appointment today. Call La Clinique de Cours at 451-6559 and experience imaging excellence without leaving the island. Your health deserves the best. Let us help you see it.
To have a strong structure, you must have a strong foundation. And at Caribbean Pastors Limited, we offer top quality aggregate materials at great prices. We supply high quality ready mix, cast in sand and plaster in sand. We also take special requests for specific materials that you may require for your building projects. Caribbean Pastors Limited is located in Bexon behind Essential Hardware. Give us a call at 489-0074. We're open from Monday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Caribbean Pastors Limited. Quality construction, our priority.
Black Hat Football, the People's Tournament, intensifies after an accelerated leg of first-round matches. Now, the battle lines have been drawn, and it's time for the quarterfinals. On Wednesday, November 6, Red Hot Boys from Masher will face the mighty VFO South from 7 p.m. and from 9 p.m. another big one. West Coast champions Ancillary versus South Castries. The winners will advance to the semi-finals on Friday, November 8th, where the big teams meet. Also featuring live in St. Lucia for the first time ever from New Country, Dominica. It's Kwan and Little Boy live at the Sufre Mini Stadium for only $25. Get ready for Kwan and Little Boy on Friday, November 8th. Join the fun and excitement at the Sufre Mini Stadium. Who will win and who will be crowned 2024 Black Hat champions? Black Hat Football. Shoot goals, not bullets.
It's a privilege to be appointed Chief Elections Officer. I intend to do my very best to bring a number of initiatives to the table. For example, I am hoping that I can streamline the management of the organization. I can help improve the morale of the staff because there is an issue with staff morale. I'm hoping as well that I can get my staff more trained. I'm hoping to get the staff prepared and ready so that we can deliver a fair, equitable, and an election where there will be no doubts.
Speaking during an HTS interview, you just heard there from Mr. Herman St. Helen, who is the island's new Chief Elections Officer, at one time serving as a presiding officer as well as returning officer and special assistant to the Chief Elections Officer. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. It is called NewsSpin, where we continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Once again, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Let's see if you have a call. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, team.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Amanda.
To
Amanda.
Good
afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr.
And the
Joseph.
persons on NewsSpin. Guy Joseph here, team.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Team, I don't call to give false information, so I'm never afraid to identify myself when I call any program. I don't operate under a single fake name on social media. I don't believe that I should disguise myself in any way or in any form. I listened to your callers, and I think Dr. Fletcher did a wonderful job in responding. But I think it is appropriate to speak on the subject brought by the lady. You said it's a lady?
Yeah, Ms. Nigel too, sir.
Yes. Now, Tim, I can say I was a member of the Labour Party. So John could have said he was a member of the Labour Party. There are many persons. Stephenson King can say he's a UWP. Richard Frederick can say he's a UWP. But where are they now? So because you once affiliated with a political party, and we know we have two main political parties, and many persons. Peter Josie was once a member of the Labour Party. Now is a very strong supporter of the United Workers' Party. And so was the former Governor General. So the issue of people want to stamp their authority on saying that I have never met this lady at a single function or event of the United Workers' Party. And it's about 20 years I'm in the UWP team. Yet still this person will come and speak as an authority on the level of support that Alan Chasney has. I know there is no other leader in the United Workers' Party who has the level of support that Alan Chasney has today. And I don't have to defend that for anybody, but it is important for people to understand. If you want to support a political party, you're entitled to your views. But don't come and present yourself because you are once a member of the United Workers. And I listened to her comments. Her comments about, does she know what happened to the Bonsejour farms team? Does she have the slightest idea that way back in the day, we used to have the eggnog being produced down there and all of these things. And the demise of the Bonsejour farm happened from 1997. And by the time we got into government in 2006, I have been on the record asking the Labour Party what happened to all the cows that were at Bonsejour. But this lady is going to come, I don't know in what age she is living. I don't know what her understanding is or her knowledge is of what transpired. But Bonsejour farms had been closed down between 1997 and 2006. And when we got into government, I raised the issues about Bonsejour farm and how the cows had disappeared. I have it on record in Parliament, and I have it on record on a number of media houses. So it is clear that wherever or whoever this lady is, if you want to make a pitch for Labour Party, you go ahead and declare your hand. Talking about the one graduate per household, I'm talking about that from CIP money. Tim, are you aware that the Labour Party said they are financing this through CIP money?
No, I've never heard that.
Okay, but isn't that what she was insinuating?
Yes, that's what you suggested, yeah.
So apparently she's an insider of the Labour Party who understands the policy positions of the Labour Party, because obviously she was speaking to the issues in relation to what the Labour Party is doing, and then trying to liken DSH to GPH. GPH, we have a port that was generating in excess of $10 million a year. We were making $6.50 on every cruise ship passenger who landed in St Lucia, and that is $6.50 US. Today, the government has signed an agreement, and they have never denied the information that we put out there. So let me put something in perspective. I heard that the Minister of Sports was quick to clear the air on the statements made about school sports. Did you hear about it, Tim?
Yes, I heard. Many people heard.
Okay. So he cleared the air. So if they have never cleared the air on the dollar that we are getting from GPH as opposed to the 650, then I have to take it that this is factual. If they have never cleared the air on the 40-year no development of Port Viewport, then I have to take it that this is a factual statement also, because they have never sought to play air on these issues. So when you look at this, and for the lady to come and say, oh, DSH and GPH, the two governments followed the same policies, nothing is further from the truth than to try and liken the policies of Alan Chasney-led UWP to Philip J.P. First of all, if Alan Chasney was in office today, fuel would not be above $14 a gallon. There would not be a 2.5% tax for health and security, and there would have been, VAT would have been at 10% now, and every St. Lucian would have had $75,000 health insurance in place. So to come and call a program and say about the support of UWP, I support Alan Chasney 100%. And every other candidate and member of the party that I know of. There may be people who have personal views and opinions, but I know that Alan Chasney has more support. And the lady actually said you could make a head count of the number of people who are on the boulevard. And we are supposed to regard these people as intelligent. Tim, I sat on the platform with the lights flashing into the boulevard, and I could not see everybody that was going straight towards Constitution Park, the side and the back of the stage. And I was trying to do a rough count of people in a row going across and going lengthwise to try and do a quick calculation. And by the time I got to a certain point, I could not check anymore. But this lady, wherever she was sitting, because I don't think she was in the boulevard, would call NewsSpin. Factual information circulates and say that you could actually make a head count of the number of people who are in the boulevard. Not Sir John, not Von Lewis, not Stevenson King. Nobody leading UWP has been able to mobilize that kind of crowd 3 years after an election, having been defeated 15-2 at the polls. So it clearly tells me that Alan Chasney has an overwhelming mandate and support from the United Workers' Party on the ground. And my lady, when you want to speak to St. Lucians, not all of us are fools. Maybe you can fool Philip J.P., but you can't fool us in UWP, because it is clear that you were promoting the policies of the Labour Party and you are trying to liken the policies of UWP to Labour. Labour believes in taxing people. UWP believes in reducing tax. Labour Party believes in borrowing. I mean, a Labour Party that just, Tim, I want one of your reporters to ask anybody to explain to us the new formula for calculating the unemployment rate in St. Lucia. Because in the social and economic review, there was a caution on the bottom page that says a new method of calculation was used, so it cannot be compared to previous years, except you go to that same format of calculation. The Labour Party told us for a quarter, not for the year. And all of a sudden you have people boasting about, oh, unemployment is the lowest. Unemployment is the lowest, and every street corner people are begging you. So that is an indicator. And my understanding, Tim, is that 3,000 people have been removed from the list. They are not employed and they are not unemployed. So the formula being used, my understanding is the formula being used is that if for 6 weeks you've been looking for work and you've not found a job, then they no longer consider you as part of the workforce. So we need to revisit these things. And I thought that it was important to clarify, when UWP is ready to change its leader, it will. But these are the things that Labour Party operatives come and plant in the minds of the people of St. Lucia. And if the more affluent in the society don't support Alan, they have their reasons. Because you played a clip for Dr. St. Rose? You remember that clip from Basdio, was it Pandey?
What, Dr. Keith Rowley? Oh, when was that?
No. You played a clip for St. Rose when he was on the chaplain for the army.
I think I might have made reference to Basdio Pandey. It was a quote.
Basdio Pandey, a clip about the elite in the society, the small group of elite.
Yes.
Which I believe he totally misunderstood based on the response that he gave you. Now, it could be I misunderstood or he misunderstood. But my understanding is what Basdio Pandey was saying is that there's an elite group of people who put money into the politics. And behind the scenes, they pull the strings that dictate how government operates. Is that the essence of the statement that you played from Pandey?
That is it, yes.
Okay. And Tim, it registered on me because I tried calling the program then to respond to it. But this is what has happened in St. Lucia. So those who are more affluent, because you have a man of means and the ability not to be bought or sold, and cannot be bribed, and cannot be dictated to. But if you can convince him that something is right, he will do it. So you may find that there are people, because in St. Lucia, there's a certain group of people, Tim, you know what they do? They sit on the sidelines. They give a government, they give a party, both UWP and SLP. So I'm not talking about SLP here. They give a political party $100,000, $200,000 towards an election. But you know what you have to give them in return? As a friend of mine said, they give you a bottle of water, but they expect a river from you in return. Now, I've had my own issues in that arena because I don't go about asking people for their money. That I believe that if somebody believes in a cause, they will support the cause. So you may find that there are some people in that arena, because they cannot control Alan Shasney. They cannot tell him, look here, we give you some money, but you have to do this in return. He will make decisions on matters of principle. And he is not compromised. And as we speak there, he spent 5 years as leader in government as prime minister. He spent 3 years prior to that as leader of the United Workers' Party, and another 3 years. So it's well over 11 years Alan Chasney is at the helm of the UWP. And up to a day like today, they cannot pin anything on Alan Chasney that shows that he's corrupt, that he's accepted a bribe, that he has done this and he has done that. The only thing they've had him is the issue of the COVID vaccine. And I want you, while we are at it, to ask the Prime Minister, based on his statement in New York, can he please release the report that he said to the people in New York they have done an investigation into the issue of the payment of the vaccine and there are persons to be blamed. And I would love you to play that clip maybe one of these days on NewsSpin. Tim, but I know there are other callers who want to get in.
As a matter of fact, we're getting set to conclude the broadcast. It's already after 2.
Oh, okay, so Tim, in closing, I just want St. Lucians to weigh in on what has happened. So much was said about Trump. And Tim, I have very mixed feelings about who to support in the US elections. Because the method of choosing the candidate for the Democrats, I believe, put them at a disadvantage. Trump policies, some are good, some are bad. That's from my perspective. A lot of people are at Trump for his, I think that the area we disagree with Trump the most is the area of his immigration policy and his threat to get rid of or get all the people in the US out as quickly as possible, those who did not come in through the legal means. And so I am not in a position to make a judgment call on what Americans did. But I know Americans voted for their pocket first, the state of the economy. And Kamala appeared to be very weak on the issues of the economy. And I think inheriting what working alongside Biden did not help her. But at the end of the day, it was a very strong comeback for Trump. And no matter how the media went after Donald Trump and what the polls were saying and all the leverage that people were using, as we sit today, Tim, Trump is the president-elect set to take office once again in January of 2025. I know there are sad Americans. I know there are happy Americans. That is the nature of politics. I look forward to next year, Tim, because I believe the Labour Party will call elections next year. And the next time we have a chat, I can give you my rationale for saying elections will be called next year by the St. Lucia Labour Party. And I expect to see the return of the United Workers' Party to bring back good governance, progress, and development to St. Lucia. I thank you, Tim, for the
All right, thank you so much. You just heard there from the first deputy political leader of the UWP, Mr. Guy Joseph, and the Electoral College. Kamala Harris is at 223 and Donald Trump is at 294. Some quick comments from the chat room, Amanda, and then we'll conclude with the question of the day and the NewsSpin news of the day.
Tim, on the topic of agriculture, a few comments. Someone said that the roads to the farms are basically non-existent. So should he walk to the farms or plant something in 2024? The money given to the Rasta man could have gone towards agricultural projects. Another comment, caller, stop talking about what you don't know. You go and plant something. Presently, there are grants given to farmers. The problem is everyone wants to sit in in an office or get a job where they can make some corruption and make big money. Someone replied to this saying, your statement is not true. The roads are motorable even better than some residential roads. They just lazy. And when the farmers put their produce up for sale, they don't have to pay for it, hence the reason why they buy from the thieves instead. That's it for me.
Thank you so much. Our NewsSpin question of the day: what should St. Lucian voters learn from the U.S. presidential election? What should St. Lucian voters learn from the U.S. presidential election? Our NewsSpin question of the day. Finally, our NewsSpin news of the day. Simple. Trump wins the presidency again. Trump wins the presidency again. Our NewsSpin news of the day. And that's a broadcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show. My name is Timothy Poleon. Join me this evening, 7 o'clock for the DBS News World and 8:30 Newsmaker Live. Goodbye.